Torah says that Yitzchak loved Eisav, Kitayid Bepiv. Eisav fed him. For Rivka, or happens as Yaakov, and Yaakov loved, and Rivka loved Yaakov. Obviously, both parents loved both children, but the Torah seems to stress Yitzchak's love for Eisav and Rivka's love for Yaakov. The Rebbe from Rivka'S, Rebbe Tony Rivka'S, has an interesting idea. Yitzchak was an Oila Tamima. Yitzchak went up as a carbon, right? He was a very, very holy person. Once he went up on that Akedah, it was considered as if he was brought on the Akedah. So he's considered an Ola Tamima, a complete Ola, a complete carbon. He was totally separate from the world. He didn't, not like last part where Yaakov was a Ish Tom. Yaakov knew that there were people who were tricksters, and he was able to fight with them. He was able to stand up against them and not be taken advantage of. Yitzchak was not like that. Yitzchak was totally separated from this world. He didn't understand that there were tricksters in this world. When Eisav asked him, how do you give Meiser on salt and on sand? He bought into Eisav's trickery. Eisav was trying to trick them. Oh, look, he's asking an interesting halakhic shayla. He must be very firm. That's a whole shmooze for another time. There's a lot of Torah about that. But for right now, Rav Tony Rivka'S is saying, yeah, the reason why he bought it is because he was so into holiness, he was totally removed from this world. He didn't understand that they were tricksters. So he bought Eisav's shtick. You know, he thought Eisav was really a very religious person. Rivka wasn't like that. Rivka was brought up with the best. She had a brother like Lavan. She knew about this whole shtick. So she didn't go for Eisav's business. This is just a cute word. That's why it says in the pasuk that Rivka loved Yaakov and not Eisav. Rivka didn't go for Eisav's shtick because she knew her shtick. She grew up with the best. Yitzchak didn't grow up with that. In fact, Sarah threw out Yishmael before Yishmael had a chance to be a bad influence in Yitzchak. Where was he supposed to learn shtick from? Avraham Avinu. He didn't have who to learn shtick from. So he bought all that. That's Rav Tony Rivka'S' word. That's why Rivka loved Yaakov, the Torah stresses, and not Eisav. Rivka didn't go for that. Yitzchak bought it because he didn't realize that there were tricksters. I was trying to say shtick and tricksters at the same time, so it came out a different word, which we're not going to say. But it's more like that. So Max was spaced out, but that was it. Okay, fine, very good. The half an hour should be learning. The child doesn't count for the half an hour. Okay, fine. I learned while. So we still got some more time. All right, so that's the word from Rav Tony Rivka'S. Interesting. That's the Hakdama for the next word. Okay, so Yitzchak loved Eisav. He bought Eisav's shtick. Rivka didn't buy that shtick because she knew it. She grew up with that shtick. She didn't go for that. That's what she loved Yaakov. The Gemara tells us that in the future, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to go to the Avos and say, your sons are sinning. Panechachatu. So Avram and Yaakov are going to say, okay, punish them. And then there will be Kiddush Hashem. Let them die on Kiddush Hashem. And Yitzchak says, no. Yitzchak starts defending them. And he starts making excuses why God shouldn't do anything to punish the Jews. So all the Mepharshim all want to know, why is Yitzchak, of all the Avos, the one that's defending the Jewish people? I thought Yitzchak was Din. Yitzchak was the one of strict judgment. You would think Avraham Avinu, of Chesed, maybe even Yaakov would be the one to speak up on behalf of the Jewish people. Why Dafka Yitzchak, the one that represents Din, which is the opposite of Rachmanis? Why is Yitzchak, Isaac, the one that's defending the Jewish people? You hear the question, Max?
Not exactly.
You mean the trickster, the one?
Yitzchak, not trickster.
So why is that a question that he should?
Yitzchak was known as the Av that represented Din, strict judgment.
Okay.
Really?
So why would Yitzchak, the strict judgment of, be the one to defend the Jewish people and tell God, they didn't know what they was wrong, give them another chance. You think Avram would be the one, the chesed one.
More lenient, you're saying.
So why is Yitzchak, of all the avos, the Gemara says, Avram and Yaakov say, take care of them, and it'll be a Kiddush Hashem, and fine. That's what they say. But the question is why Yitzchak, of all the avos, he's the last one you'd think that would be the one to defend the Jewish people. Remember, Pamishlan, a Hasidic Rebbe, says a very interesting thing. That Yitzchak had a certain taina. I had a bad son, but I was Michael him. I loved him. That's how it says. Yitzchak loved Eisav. So Yitzchak can say to Hashem, be like me. I had a son. I didn't abandon him. I loved him. And I was Michael him. I forgave him. So the more so, you love your children, forgive them, even though they sin to you. So therefore only Yitzchak could say that. Avram didn't have, Avram had Yishmael. Yishmael did tshuva. Yishmael was kicked out of the house. Yaakov, mitasov shleima. His bed was complete. He had the shvatim. He had no problems. So he couldn't make that taina. Only Yitzchak could say, I had a son of Russia, and be Michael, I was Michael, I loved him. I didn't throw him out of the house. So you also take care of the Jewish people. Says the Shalach Kadosh, that's Pshat in the Pasuk. No, I'm sorry, that's the Parshas. The great Rebbe says that's Pshat in the Pasuk. Vayehav Yitzchak is Eisav. Yitzchak loved Eisav. Ki tzayid bepiv. He's learning over here, tzayid, not because game was in his mouth that he fed him. He was a hunter and he fed him. For another time, another halakhic shir could be on. Maybe you could ask your father a question tomorrow night. How is Yitzchak allowed to eat from Esav's hunting? So it says that Yitzchak loved it.
Yeah, but he brought back the whole animal.
Oh, he did? Okay, fine.
No, I'm saying
there was a mashgiach there.
And he was mashgiach.
Who was the mashgiach?
Yitzchak.
He was blind.
Yeah, I'm saying he was
He's blind.
At a high level and he knew where to come.
He'd be a very good mashgiach. Okay. It takes a mashgiach to make that joke. But yeah. Okay. So that's another time. A halakhic question. What was Yitzchak's heter to eat Esav's hunting? We're talking about Eisav. What type of a hashgacha was back then? Okay.
Without aim, I'm sure he would probably take it very seriously.
Right. Not to feed him something exactly. that he wouldn't eat. Okay. Very good. But again, there's still halakhic issues with that. Because if your son's Eisav, halakhically he's not Neman. If you have a son,
can't trust him.
Yeah, even though he might not want to do anything bad against you, halachically you're not allowed to trust him. He's not Neman. He's not Neman. So that's why it's a halachic shaila for another time. What was Yitzchak's heter to eat from Esav's hunting? Okay, that's for another time. So the Parshas says in nice pshat in the pasuk that when the Torah says, "Vayehav Yitzchak is Eisav ki tzayid bepiv," not that because he fed him. Bepiv, the tzayid bepiv, he's learning the word tzayid bepiv. The justification for the Jewish people later on in history will be bepiv, with the mouth. Because afterwards, Yitzchak could say to Hashem, love the Jewish people and forgive them, just like I forgave my son. Beautiful pshat. Ki tzayid bepiv. Tzayid, he's not learning, like I said, from the word gaming. Tzayid bepiv. The justification for the Jewish people is bepiv. It was in his mouth. Since the mouth of Yitzchak loved Eisav. And the Torah says it. He loved Eisav. You hear that? The mouth. And he articulated his love for Eisav. He forgave him. He was Michael him. Even though he sinned against him and he did bad things, he still forgave him. So Yitzchak says to Hashem, forgive the Jewish people just like I forgave my son. That's the pshat in the pasuk. Ki tzayid bepiv, because it was in his mouth. Beautiful pshat. So let's learn from that. As bad as things are, always look at the positive. Yitzchak said, hey, I had a very bad son, but I loved him anyhow. So you too, Hashem, love the Jewish people even though they sin. That's a beautiful lesson we learn out from this Remeir Mi Palashlam.